What is up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video back in Planet Coaster in the one, the only challenge park, Wind Valley Park, and today we're going to be finishing up Forbidden Timbers, our amazing new wood coaster that is built by Gravity Group, and we're going to finish up some theming, we're going to finish up some stuff in the tunnels. It's going to be epic and great. So there's still a lot to do. We're gonna do some touch-ups, obviously, in the queue line and everything, and it turned out so good. I can't wait for you guys to see it. And towards the end of the video, we will get you guys a POV. So be on the lookout for a potential cinematic video. I don't know exactly when I'll get that going, but that should hopefully not be too soon or too late. Too soon before I get that out, so I can't wait to get that out to you guys so you guys can see all of that. So if you guys want to watch these episodes live, you do have to be a member, so make sure you hit that join button beneath the video if you want to support the channel further. Not only are you supporting the channel, but you also get some awesome perks, like watching these live streams live and everything like that. But if you can't support the channel further, that is totally okay. You'll still get to see all the footage and everything that you want to see for free, of course, as well. So anyways, with that being said, I think we should get into this episode. It is gonna be a wild ride, so buckle your seatbelt. Alright guys, before we get started real quick, I'd like to thank my sponsor Dubby for sponsoring this video. And be sure to use code JLW Games on your next purchase for 10% off. Thanks Dubby for the sponsor. Alrighty then, to get started off here, we just did some minor touches here in the station to get us started. And of course I had to create a support structure for the stairway going down into the main parts of the queue line because I haven't done it yet. And of course this is the final episode for this particular attraction, so once we get into the next episode we're gonna get into some more new stuff, because who knows what we'll do next for this these episodes, you know. And I know a lot of people have been asking me lately. I've been getting some comments asking if I'm going to be doing any more non-member streams. Yes, the answer to that is yes, but as of right now, the streams for this series is exclusive for members. Well, it's kind of exclusive for members. They get early access and they get to watch the episode live. You know, I'm still releasing the live stream footage, so if you guys want to see the non-edited versions and raw footage of this, I am releasing those slowly. I just released episode 51's live stream to everybody, so everyone can watch that. If they want to watch the real-time unedited version, episode 52 will be posted here pretty soon as well. I'll be releasing that to everyone, and so on and so forth. It just comes out a little bit later for everyone. It's just exclusive for members when it's live and a little bit afterwards. So usually we're going to be a few episodes ahead before I release those full live streams to everyone. So again, if you're not a member, it doesn't mean you're missing out on any content or anything. It just means you won't be able to watch these episodes live, basically. So so don't think you're going to be missing out on any content again if you're not a member, because I'm still want to get everyone out. Just again, think of it more as early access to videos and just a couple of other fun little perks as well. So just to show my appreciation towards people that do want to support the channel further, because they deserve it. You know, and you guys that can't support the channel further, you still deserve to see this content as well. So don't think, I don't want to make you guys think that you guys are any less than you are, because you guys are just as valuable as anyone else for watching my content. If you just watch my content, you guys are amazing. So I appreciate you guys so much, everyone. And if you can support the channel more, you know, that is obviously hugely appreciated, and I don't want that to go unnoticed either. So but going into what we're doing here in the time lapse right now, we are working on getting the exit ramp kind of up and going here. You could say I was a little lazy here by just doing like this fence going around, but I actually think it turned out pretty cool in the end after we get some more foliage and stuff in. It actually didn't turn out too bad, honestly. I actually think it wasn't too bad of a decision to use it that way, because it actually would have been very hard to get everything to form around it, because I do have some curved slopes in there, which would take a long time to get right if I was to do it in a different way, and it still took some time even just using those fences. So going in here, of course, we had to add some more trees, because obviously this is going to be built in a forest, and you know, the theming and everything, there had to be a lot of trees, so we had to plant some more trees around. That's the big deal about this ride, you know, it's forbidden timbers, so there needs to be timbers around the ride. If you know what I mean. So anyways, the whole entire layout turned out great. The theming elements turned out great. The queue line turned out great. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Again, we are going to be seeing a POV later on in the video where you can get to see a nice POV of the full layout with all the scenery and everything, and also a little bit of the custom audio, so you guys will hear that as well. If you've been part of the member live streams, you will of course know, heard the audio already, but I did a lot of custom audio for the ride. I did a custom announcement, and I also did some custom audio for the queue line as well. Not really custom, but I put together a fun little playlist, some nice mysterious music that plays in the queue line, and I did put together about an 8-minute soundtrack for the ride as well. There's also a dispatch audio that plays. It sounds like a tree falling down and stuff, so it's pretty cool. We got some pretty cool theming elements in this ride that I think is pretty cool. So going into the queue line here, I wanted to make it realistic by adding sections that can be opened and closed like in real life you'd see in queue lines, where you can see that some areas are closed off, some of them are open. In this case, because of the way the mechanics work in Planet Coaster, we're gonna have all of it open, because obviously it is gonna fill up pretty quick, and I did notice that it did fill up quick. This is gonna be a popular ride in the park. As soon as I opened it, it did fill up very fast, so it is going to be popular in the park for sure, which is great because it does have greens across the board when it comes to excitement, fear, and nausea. So everything was green, which is definitely a really good sign that we're getting greens across the board. So I wanted to do this little entrance bracket thing here that kind of had a few things on it, kind of the height stick, and also like just an enter sign and everything. I typically like to put my signs on top on the entrance like that, but since we have the entrance sign, or the sign for the ride right there, I didn't want to put two signs right there. Wouldn't really make sense, so I made this kind of like an archway just to show that this is the entrance for this ride and everything. We also put a couple of custom signs in from the Theme Maker's Toolkit for the disability access, for the wheelchair access, over by the exit, the ADA entrance as it's also called. And also an exit sign and stuff like that. And of course, we had to finish up the transfer track over here behind the station because I hadn't worked on it since we kind of placed this down. So we had to put in the roof and kind of enclose it. Now, I did say I might put in a little bit of a scene in here. Well, unfortunately, it's going to be pretty disappointing as I didn't really do much. I put in some vines and theming inside the building, but I didn't do anything much because I don't really have any assets to create like a fun little scene here. Plus, the train doesn't actually stop in there because the operations are so fast, because we have the fastest operations in America. So obviously, we don't have time to do a scene there because our operators are getting the ride through so fast that you know, it doesn't stop. We don't stack our trains. So just saying that we have some of the best workers here at Wind Valley Park. Just so you know, make sure if you want to be part of the best, go ahead and apply in our offices. We're hiring right now, so starting out at some really competitive rates as well. You can do some pay rates. So anyways, going into the actual stuff, as you see, we did get in and closed. I wanted to do a lot of detail on the outside as well, so it looks good on the outside as it does on the inside. And I think it turned out pretty neat. Pretty simple, but pretty good. It still feels fairly detailed with all the ivy and stuff like that, and all the vines and stuff like that. Turned out pretty nice in here. So that will be the actual transfer track. Again, this ride can only transfer off one train at a time, so you're not going to see less than 2 trains running at the same time. So this ride will always run 2 trains. That's going to be how it's going to operate, is that it will never have an idea of where it can run one train, unless a train gets fully removed from the track, which is the only way, which I guess could be possible if, say, if like the third train's under maintenance and it's not even on the tracks. So anyways, I want to do some cool strobe lighting effects in the back tunnel here, the tunnel going underneath the path. So we did add some like trigger effects where it flashes on and off between green and orange, and I think it turned out really, really cool. So it flashes really fast, and hopefully it doesn't blind anybody. So it does flash pretty good. So it's gonna be really cool at night to have that that section down there flashing as you go through that tunnel. I think it'll be a neat little theming aspect as you go through that. And then I think this is gonna have an epic night ride with lots of trees and everything. I still am very proud of myself of how I was creative enough to fit this layout in here the way I did, because I wasn't ever thinking I was going to fit on a full-length big roller coaster back here. But after I removed those rides and kind of mapped out the layout, I was just like, man, this is actually going to work. And it actually filled in some extra space that was unoccupied as well. So we kind of filled in more of the area that we had, and you got to be very creative in that. So basically we're getting into the lighting aspects of this area, and we want to make sure everything's lit up nicely. So I had to make sure the queue was lit up nicely and all the trees have different colors and some neat little aspects there, and you'll see like spotlights on all these trees, because obviously it's the big spotlight theming is all these trees. And then I made this really cool custom lamp using the vine. Very, very simple. It's literally just a lamp on the vine, but I thought it worked perfectly well for this project, because obviously, you know, you have the ivy coming up, and or the vines coming up, and they're all holding the sources of light, which I thought was kind of neat. So but yeah, that lights up all of the queue line, and I was going to do a cover over the queue, but I decided to keep it open and keep it outside with all the trees, because I felt like that would be best for the theme in the long run. So I ended up going with that and keeping it open, because I feel like it would just be the best option for this ride. And of course we had to light up the entrance sign as well, or the main sign for the ride as well. So we gave it two-tone colors there. We had the orange and the green. That's going to be kind of like the colors for this ride, green and orange, which is kind of interesting. Like I said, if we could have different colored trains, I would definitely have a green train, which all of them are green right now, and I would also have that an orange train too, and probably like a very grayed red as well if I had to choose, probably. But anyways, you can see I made kind of like a fake priority pass entrance right there, so that's going to be like the entrance if there was the priority pass, which I still might cover up the entrance a little bit and make it look a little bit better. But we're about to get into the main the actual POV here, so we're going to check that out so you guys can see the official POV with all the theming elements, and it is going to be a daytime POV. I think this ride definitely includes its own video for a nighttime POV, because it is a very epic night ride. Now you can see the speakers on the dock and everything. Those are going to be actually disappeared. Those are in view right now, but they won't be later on. So all this custom audio that plays in this ride, so you'll hear it all properly during the cinematic video. So we head out of the station. We're gonna make our bend to the right, a little bit of a hill going into our lift hill, which is a huge lift hill, by the way. I think it's 160 some odd feet tall, and I think the drop is about just a little over 100 feet, because again, we're going up a hillside. So we have to go back down the hill. So we're going on top of the hill, so our drop's going to be a lot smaller than the lift itself. But we're going to use the rest of that energy on the second half of the ride going down the hillside. Kind of like how Voyage does, obviously. So this is the first time we do a POV with all of the theming elements. And again, once I do a, excuse me, sorry, a cinematic video, we're going to use all those elements, and of course I'm going to use cinematics and get better frame rates and stuff like that, using like cheat engine and stuff to be able to slow the footage down to get those higher frame rates and stuff. But it's still running pretty well. So what you're seeing right now is basically how the park runs. This is how the park runs basically, without any of that. So I'm still getting some really good frame rates on this park for as big as it is, which is pretty insane. So I'm pretty. You can see that there's not too many frame drops. It's not the best frame rate. I think it's probably between 30 and 45 frames a second is what probably jumps in between for the most part. And I'm in 1440p as well, so I'm also some pretty high definition as well, some really high resolutions. My computer is pretty beasty, or pretty beastly. So it's a beast. It is a good beast. I mean, we're running a RTX 3080 Ti with a Ryzen 9 5900X, which is a 12-core processor. So yeah, it's pretty beasty. And then we got 32 gigabytes of RAM at 3600 speed, I think. So it's got some horsepower to it. It's got some pretty good specs on it. So it can handle all this, and it runs Planet Coaster beautifully. So couldn't ask for more. So, but this layout turned out so good. I'm really excited. I hope you guys have enjoyed this ride as well. So, seeing all the theming, and here we are. First look at the shed, our shed version of the shed, Kings Island. But as you can see, the it turned out really, really awesome. But as you can see, our construction is basically done. There's a couple things here, like hiding the speakers that we got to do, and just another couple of finishing touches. You know, sometimes I'll get in there and forget some stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot that. Sometimes I still do that even after I open the ride and everything. So, but I think that's the main things that we've done here. We have a couple things. We're gonna make a little dispatch enable panel over here and put in animated staff on the dock and everything. So we have staff running the ride. I like putting some staff on the dock so it looks like there's people running the ride, kind of, in a sense. I think it looks pretty nice when that happens. And as you can see, I like adding these little dispatch enable buttons because almost every coaster has one. Where it's usually 2 people pushing buttons or more. Sometimes it's even more to dispatch. So that way the train never is accidentally dispatched. It can ensure that it's never dispatched on accident. So, but I wanted to add all those little details into this episode. I think it was kind of important to get into the episode for the most part. So as you can see, we got a little bit of an animated staff in there. He's pretty awesome. And we get him in there. We do change the colors of all their uniforms as well, because I wanted it to kind of match the theme of the ride. So you're going to see that green, excuse me, also with the orangish brown colors going in. As well, which is kind of a good look for this ride. I think those are going to be kind of like your main color scheme of the ride, I think. So that is kind of the idea here for this, for the colors for the staff as well. I changed it here. I put one, I think, on the other side, and then I put changed the colors for the operators and like the booth and such. As well, because it turns out really, really good. So, again, I want to put as much detail into these as well as much as I can, because I think they look great. So we also wanted to hide the display sequencers, so those aren't visible to anybody. I wanted to make sure those weren't visible to just make it better. So we got to get a loader here as well. We got to get a load side person. I didn't even think about it, but I should probably start putting in like groupers and stuff, like staff that would be a kind of like these animated staff guys would actually be really good as groupers, because they kind of put their hand out like, oh yeah, go ahead, head on it. But yeah, we go in here, change the operator color. Operators got to match too, of course, the most important. You know, dispatching the train, they're in the booth, and they gotta look the part as well. You know, for Forbidden Timbers here, they gotta also look the part as well. So gotta make sure everyone's matching unis, matching uniforms here. So very, very exciting. But like I said before, I think I mentioned it in the first episode of this season, in episode 51. But there is probably going to be a pause in the middle of the season. I'm not sure how many more episodes I'm going to get out before this pause happens. Again, I do have I am going to be out of town for about 2 to 3 weeks, so I will have my laptop, so I still might be able to bring out content, but I don't think I'm going to do any episodes here because I don't think I'll be able to live stream on my laptop. I could try, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. Because it is, I only have 16 gigabytes of RAM on it. It could work if I stream at maybe 720 or something, but I really don't want to do that for these episodes. I want to make sure these are filmed in like 1440p and everything. I remember when the series first came out, when it first came out, I was actually uploading from there, from my laptop. I was actually recording those episodes, but for the way I have it set up now, I think it's a good idea just to kind of take that break away for a little bit. It might even be good for me to take a break because, you know, you can get burnt out on a park pretty quick. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that before. I know I certainly have. But yeah, getting burnt out on a park is very, very much a thing, especially if you get excited for a project and you're pumping out content back to back to back like I have lately. So maybe having a little bit of a gap midway through the season might be a good thing, you know? I'll take it away as a positive. But like I said, I'll still try to get content out. I still might live stream. I'll have my a console with me, at least one of the consoles. So I might end up live streaming through the console. My internet's not going to be as good while I'm out there, so out of town. So I'll have to keep that in mind as well. So that's another reason why streaming might not be the greatest idea as well, because I won't have the greatest internet as well as I do at my actual house. So, but yeah, so just keep that in mind. If you stop seeing episodes pop up for a little bit, that's going to be why. It will probably be another episode or two before that actually happens. We'll see. It's actually not as far away as I think, so because that's actually coming up pretty quick. I got to remember that February only has 28 days in it, so sometimes I forget about that and like, oh, there's still plenty of time left before that happens, and I'm like, wait, no, it's actually a couple days less than I think. So I don't know if anyone does that, but like, you know, having 28 days in February sometimes throws me off because I'm just like, oh, it's the 25th or 26th or something, you know, I still got like 4 or 5 days. No, you only got like 2 or 3 days, you know. So you don't have that long. And, you know, tomorrow's, as of recording this, tomorrow's the 28th. Today's the 27th that I'm recording this. So, I don't know exactly I don't know yet if I'm going to release this tonight or the next day. I might do it tonight because that'd probably be the best schedule for me because I like premiering the episodes. Premiering the episodes are always fun. So you guys can kind of watch the premiere live. It's kind of like a live stream, but not, because it's like the live stream for the upload, kind of. So, like, you're watching the premiere of it, which I really liked it when YouTube did add that feature. I think that's really cool to be able to have premieres of your episodes so people can see what's coming up. Like, you can see thumbnails and titles and stuff, like, oh, this is coming out on this day. Pretty cool. So, I can't believe we're already on the 3rd episode of this season already. Like, in 2 episodes, we'll already be halfway through the season. That's just crazy to me, so... that's just it's absolutely bananas, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely bananas. So, I think here, what am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing in the footage here. I can't remember. Am I starting to do shots here? I'm kind of running around. We're looking around here. What are we doing? I made it sunset, so I'm not sure if I'm trying to get screenshots or what. I'm probably saying like, yeah, I'm done. We're like done with this ride, because I think this is about the point where I was like, I'm pretty much done. Oh, maybe oh no, I forgot I put on the vines on the roof because I thought it would be a nice touch, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put some vines on the roof. That would be a good touch to finish this up. Yeah. Just put some good nice vines on the roof. So yeah, this is an epic night ride, by the way, so I can't wait to get some night ride footage of it. So hopefully I will get the cinematic footage out before my trip, because obviously I will, or before I leave, or before I'm out of town. It's not like a vacation or anything, but I will be would like to get that out. Usually the cinematic videos aren't too hard to do, depending on how long, as long as they're not like super long or anything. Typically I do some off-ride shots, do the POV, and then some more off-ride shots, and that's typically how the formula goes for cinematic videos. So it's gonna be pretty cool. You know, we're gonna use I always use reshade and do all that stuff, and then I go into cheat engine, kind of slow down the game so that the frame rate's higher, and then you speed it up in post-production, and then you get some really high frame rate footage of the rides of the game. So you can get like 100+ frames a second, you know, doing it that way. It's actually really cool. But I wouldn't use that program for like anything else besides offline games, because you get in big trouble if you use that on online games for sure. And so I only use, that's the only purpose I use it for, is to is to slow down my footage to try and get higher frame rates. That's literally all I use it for, is to slow the game down for higher frame rates. You know, and that's what a lot of people do for Planet Coaster, to get those really good cinematic videos. I mean, honestly, I don't really have to do that because I get solid frame rates already, but I always feel like it's good to do that because I think it just looks fantastic, and there's nothing like having nice, buttery, smooth footage for it. And I wouldn't say I'm the best at it, of course, and with reshade always does drop your frames quite a bit, depending on how much you use, so you gotta look out for that. So, going back into, this is the ending of the video, so that's going to be basically it for this episode. I hope you guys are excited for Forbidden Timbers. It's fantastic, and it's going to have a great opening year. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, make sure you join us if you want to watch the episodes live. Be sure to join us through our memberships, and if you can. If you can't, that's totally fine. Continue to just support the channel by being here and watching our content on the channel. So I appreciate every single one of you that's here. So thank you guys so much. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe for more amazing content like this, and I will catch you guys in the next live stream video, whichever that may be, guys. And of course, we're gonna end things off with some more screenshots like we always do. So yeah, that's been Forbidden Timbers. So make sure you guys have a great day, cooler tomorrow. I always forget if I say that. I never remember if I say that. But anyways, thank you guys, and goodbye.